What would happen if I told you that the reason you've been feeling slower, more faded, or less confident lately might be linked to something as simple and overlooked as acidity in your body? And that a teaspoon of baking soda, yes, the same one sitting quietly in your kitchen cabinet, could be the missing key to restoring your glow, your circulation, and even your confidence in the bedroom after 60. This isn't theory, it's science that many older adults have never heard of. My name is Dr. Morritara. I'm a doctor specialized in men's health with over 3 decades of clinical experience, helping men and women rediscover their strength, clarity, and energy without tricks or fluff. I've seen what really works, and it often starts with the simplest changes. Here's the surprising truth. Baking soda isn't just a household cleaner. When used correctly, it can help improve blood flow, increase oxygen supply, enhance muscle function, and even unclog the small vessels that nourish the most vital organs, including those responsible for sexual performance. Most people have no idea this connection exists. In this video, you'll learn exactly how to use baking soda safely to support your energetic glow and intimate health starting today. No nonsense, just real solutions that strengthen you from the inside out. And if you stick with me until the end, I'll give you a simple 7-day protocol that my older patients call a second chance in a spoonful. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect moment. Hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another simple, powerful tip to help you stay vibrant after 60. And if this message makes sense to you, write a 1 in the comments. If not, write 0. Your comments help me serve you better. Let's start with the truth that most people never talk about. Why do so many older adults start losing their natural glow, energy, and confidence? After 60, it's not just aging. It's what's happening inside your body that matters most. Understanding this is the first step to reclaiming it all. One reason older bodies lose their glow after 60. I've sat with hundreds of older men and women who quietly ask me the same thing. Why do I feel like I've lost my spark? It's not vanity. It's a deep human longing to feel alive again, to look in the mirror and see vitality, not fatigue. After 60, many notice their skin looks duller, their energy fades faster, and confidence in their body slowly slips away. Most blame it on age, but the real culprit is often something else. Your body's internal environment is changing. It becomes more acidic, inflamed, and loaded with waste it can't eliminate efficiently. As kidneys slow down and blood thickens, toxins linger longer, circulation weakens, and little by little, that inner glow fades. I remember a patient named Harold, 67 years old, who told me he used to feel electric in the morning, sharp, strong, ready to take on the world. But lately, even after 8 hours of sleep, he still felt sluggish. His skin looked tired, his motivation dropped. Doctor said everything was normal, but he knew something had changed. The truth is, our bodies weren't made to function with years of slow toxin buildup. They need help to restore balance. And sometimes that help comes from the most unexpected places. And that leads us to something simple, overlooked, and surprisingly powerful. Baking soda. Because once you understand how it restores your body's natural chemistry, you'll never see it the same way again. 2. The science of baking soda and your body's pH. When I first explain to my patients how baking soda works inside the body, their eyes usually widen in disbelief. Wait, that white powder I brush my teeth with, they ask. Yes, exactly that one. See, behind all the everyday uses we know, deodorizing, refrigerators, whitening teeth, baking soda is actually a natural alkalizer. That means it helps neutralize excess acid in the body, gently shifting your internal chemistry toward balance. And for those over 60, that balance can make all the difference in how you feel. As we age, the body tends toward a more acidic state. This hidden acidity can silently drain your energy, stiffen your joints, dull your skin, and slow down every cell in your body. It's like a fog that settles in, especially after 60. But when we use baking soda correctly, it acts like a gentle breeze that clears that fog. The blood flows a bit freer, oxygen travels more efficiently, and inflammation starts to subside. I remember a gentleman named Raymond who started a simple routine with baking soda and told me, "It's like I got a bit of my spark back." Now, don't get me wrong, it's not a miracle powder, but it's a powerful tool when used carefully, and it lays the foundation for something even more vital, your circulation. Because without strong, steady blood flow, even the best habits fall short. So let's look at how this little ingredient can be the key to restoring one of your body's most essential systems. 3. Baking soda and blood flow, the circulation link. If there's one thing I've learned after decades practicing men's health, it's that circulation is everything. It's not just about the heart or arteries. It's about life reaching every corner of your body. And yet, after 60, many men start feeling colder hands and feet, slower healing, more fatigue, even issues in the bedroom. All signs that blood isn't flowing like it used to. What breaks my heart is how often this is dismissed as just aging, when in reality, your body might be crying out for better flow. That's where baking soda becomes more than a kitchen staple. It turns into a circulatory ally. Studies show that when taken in appropriate doses, baking soda can help relax blood vessels and promote nitric oxide production, which improves vessel flexibility. It acts almost like a gentle internal cleanser that supports the pathways blood needs to nourish muscles, brain, skin, and yes, even sexual organs. I had a patient, George, 71 years old, who came in frustrated by his cold extremities and low energy. A week after adding a basic baking soda routine, he said, "It's like someone reopened the faucet." It's not magic, it's chemistry. And it's yet another way this humble powder quietly supports the very foundation of your vitality. But strong blood flow isn't just about feeling warmer or more alert. It plays a crucial role in performance, stamina, and confidence, especially in the most private areas of your life. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover now. 4. Baking soda and muscle performance after 60. There's a silent frustration that sets in when your body just doesn't respond like it used to. I hear it all the time. Men tell me, "Doctor, I'm doing everything right, but I still feel tired with the slightest effort." And what they're describing isn't laziness or lack of discipline. It's the natural buildup of acid in aging muscles. As we age, even the simplest activity can leave muscles sore, tense, and slow to recover. That's where baking soda comes in, as an unlikely but effective option. Baking soda has a unique ability to buffer lactic acid, the same substance that builds up in muscles under strain. When that acid sticks around, you feel exhausted faster. But when it's neutralized, your muscles function cleaner for longer and recover more easily. I remember James, a retired firefighter around 60. He still enjoyed walking every morning, but halfway through, his legs would cramp. We added a small dose of baking soda to his morning routine. Days later, he told me, "I completed the whole park circuit without cramps. First time in months." It's small victories like this that restore your confidence, not just in your body, but in life. And while better muscle recovery is a blessing, there's something even deeper that baking soda can help with. Something older men rarely talk about, but worry about silently every day. Let's talk about what happens when baking soda helps restore blood flow to one of the most vital and vulnerable parts of your body. 5. Baking soda and mental clarity, the brain-glow connection. There's a moment many of my patients describe, and I've felt it too. You walk into a room and forget why. You can't find a word on the tip of your tongue. You wake up already tired. These little lapses are brushed off as just aging, but deep down they leave a mark. They erode your confidence. I had a patient, Leonard, a retired teacher, who once told me, "I used to feel alert, like I could take on anything. Now I feel like I'm wading through fog." What most people don't realize is that mental fog and fatigue are often linked to what's happening in the blood. and that blood also nourishes the brain. When internal pH is off, when blood gets sluggish and acidic, the brain pays the price. That's where baking soda starts to shine. By gently supporting a more alkaline environment in the body, baking soda helps blood move more freely, delivering oxygen and nutrients where they're needed most, especially to the brain. As a result, you might start feeling a bit clearer, a bit sharper, more present. Leonard called it lifting the fog. This kind of clarity isn't just about memory, it's about being fully present in your life, with your family, in your conversations. And when your mind feels awake again, the rest of you starts to follow. But what if I told you this same simple remedy can also help one of the most overlooked muscle groups in your body? One directly linked to control, strength, and even sexual health. Let's explore what most men never think to train, but should. 6. How baking soda can unclog penile veins. This is the part that makes many men lean in a little closer, and for good reason. Sexual confidence doesn't vanish with age. It gets buried under layers of frustration, shame, and silence. I've had countless older patients come to me and whisper, "I don't feel like myself down there anymore." What they don't realize is that their difficulties often have less to do with testosterone and more with blood flow. Yes, the real issue is that the small vessels nourishing the penis, what I call the penile veins, have narrowed, inflamed, or clogged over time. That's where baking soda earns its place in this conversation. It helps improve circulation by reducing acidity and easing inflammation in blood vessels. And when internal chemistry is more balanced, blood flows more freely, not just to the brain or muscles, but to the most intimate parts of your body. One of my patients, Walter, 72 years old, said it best. "It didn't just help my performance, it gave me back my dignity." That's the kind of transformation we rarely talk about, but deeply deserve. When used correctly, baking soda can be part of a bigger solution that helps restore vitality in the parts of your life that may have felt quietly lost. But don't be fooled. It's not about miracles. It's about giving your body what it needs to function naturally again. And now that we've talked about what baking soda can do inside your body, let me show you how to use it safely, effectively, and with the respect it deserves. 7. Internal and external methods to use baking soda safely. Now that you understand what baking soda can do for your circulation, energy, and even intimacy, the next step is knowing how to use it safely. Because here's the truth. Like any powerful tool, it can help or harm, depending on how it's used. Over the years, I've seen men rush too much, take too much, or use the wrong kind and end up discouraged, or worse, uncomfortable. So let me tell you what I tell my own patients. You don't need to overdo it. In fact, often less is more. A simple mix of half a teaspoon of baking soda stirred into a glass of room temperature water. Take it on an empty stomach a few times a week. It's usually all you need to start restoring balance inside your body. I've seen men come back just a few weeks later saying their digestion improved, their skin looked healthier, and they felt lighter in their own bodies. It's not dramatic, it's subtle, but powerful. For others, especially those dealing with bloating or joint stiffness, a warm foot soak with baking soda before bed can ease tension and help the body detox through the skin. I've even recommended gentle baking soda masks for some patients whose skin had lost its glow, and they were surprised by the change after just 1 or 2 applications. But while these uses are incredibly helpful, they only work when done with care. And there are mistakes that can silently undo all the benefits. So before you start, let's talk about what not to do and how to avoid the silent pitfalls many fall into. 8. Mistakes to avoid with baking soda. One of the most frustrating things I see in my practice is when someone tries something promising like baking soda, but uses it wrong and ends up thinking it doesn't work, or worse, that it made things worse. And I don't blame them. Most people aren't taught to use natural remedies responsibly, or they're told to avoid them entirely, or they dive in without understanding the balance. But with baking soda, balance is everything. The first mistake I see is overuse. Just because a little helps doesn't mean more is better. Taking too much too often can irritate the stomach, raise sodium levels, or even overburden the kidneys if you have underlying issues. I once had a patient, Robert, who started taking it every morning and night. He had good intentions, but soon he felt bloated and fatigued. We reduced the dose, and within days, he felt better than before. Another common mistake is not taking breaks. Your body doesn't need constant correction, it needs support in waves. That's why I often suggest using baking soda 3 to 4 times a week, not daily, forever. And if you take medications, especially for high blood pressure or kidney issues, talk to your doctor. These are important checks, not shortcuts. Simple choices that build strength over time. That's why I created this 7-day protocol, not as a rigid routine, but as a gentle rhythm. It's something my patients, especially those in their 60s and 70s, can follow without stress, and often with surprisingly good results. Start each morning with a small act of self-care. Half a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water before breakfast. Not every day, just on selected days. Enough to maintain alkalinity without overwhelming the system. On other days, we focus on recovery with foot soaks, face washes, or light movement combined with deep breathing. What we're doing isn't just supporting the body. We're inviting it to remember how to feel good again. You start to feel lighter, more awake, more connected to your own rhythm. An old patient, Earl, told me that for the first time in years, he started looking forward to mornings again. It gave me something to look forward to, he said, and the spark started to return. This routine isn't a cure. It's a reminder that your body still knows how to heal, how to glow, how to move forward with strength and grace. But even the best routine means little if we don't protect the mindset behind it. And that leads me to something even deeper. Something no remedy can give, but every man over 60 needs to urgently reclaim. Let's talk about the silent weight of shame and how to finally let it go. 10 final words from Dr. Kara. There's something I wish every man over 60 could hear, not just once, but as often as needed for it to sink in deep. Your body isn't broken. It may be slower, softer in some places, or feel unfamiliar at times. But it's still yours, still alive, still capable of joy, strength, and yes, true healing. The truth is, most of what we call aging isn't just the passage of time. It's the buildup of inflammation, stress, silence, and often shame. I've sat with patients who've spent years hiding how they feel. Ashamed of an erection that fades, a softening belly, the feeling of not being the man they used to be. But what I've learned, and try to remind them, is that confidence isn't something you outgrow. It's something you reclaim. And small acts like waking up and taking control of your health with something as humble as baking soda can be the spark that brings it all back. Because when you choose to care for your body, you're saying you still matter. You're saying, I'm not done yet. And I believe in that truth with everything in me. You're not done. In fact, you may be entering your strongest, wisest, most powerful chapter yet. Now, if this message sparked something in you, stick with me a little longer, because there's one final reflection. A simple reminder to stay grounded that can change how you see your body, your health, and your future, starting today. If this message reached you, if any part made you feel seen, heard, or hopeful, take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who might need it, and leave a comment below. Tell me which part resonated most with you, or what topic you'd like me to cover next. Your voice helps this community grow. And if you want to support my mission of offering honest, empowering health advice for more older people, consider making a small donation. Every gesture, big or small, helps keep this message alive. Thank you for being here. You matter more than you know. M.